All right, Friday Night Flies. We're live.
Thank you, Brad. So, welcome to Friday Night Flies. I'm Boulder. It's Friday 13th. Ooh, spooky.
Yeah, no kidding. What are you thinking?
I'm predicting lots of thread breaking today.
Yeah, there's something.
I'm predicting I'm going to bash the camera a few times. No, but it's Friday 13th. We're here at Spud Valley Sporting Goods in Pemberton, 1380 Birch Street. Also the home of Pemberton Fish Finder, where we talk trout, and Friday Night Flies. Us, right here.
It's a busy
Love
place.
the tug. Yeah. It's a revolving door of hunting and fishing goodness out here. But so last week I was in the shop and somebody was coming through and they were drilling me on Chironomids. Did I say it right?
Yeah, close enough.
That's one of my my words, my speech impediment words. Can't say it, so I'm going with chromies.
Chromies.
So somebody was asking me about chromies, and I dug out my still water patterns. I know we're not anywhere near that season yet. Well, we could be in about a week with all this rain if it keeps up. But I dug out my top 5 patterns, so I'm going to be tying them up tonight. And we're starting off with the B.F.F first. My best friend, Bob. I don't know. Best friend forever. We just called it the B.F.F because it's made with some blue flashabou. So, yeah, we'll take you downstairs and we'll show you how to do this. So that's our pattern here. I'll just give you a quick little spin about on it. So yeah,
that's a beautiful crawny, man.
Cronies are very thin. You'll see their husks
light
on the
isn't really
shell.
doing it the best because it's hitting it in the wrong place. But that thing is so shiny, it could be jewelry.
Yeah. So the shininess behind it is when these nymphs or when the pupa are turning into their nymphs and they're ascending to the surface of the water to hatch, they fill their chambers up with air, which gives it this shine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's helps them get up to the top. So shiny patterns are really good. There is a place for darker patterns as well. And whenever you see a lot of the guys on TV doing throat samples and stuff, this is what they're looking for. Chironomids make up 90% of the trout's diet. They're there all year. They're always feeding on them. Most of the time when you're on your boat and you're looking in the water, you're going to see their husks floating around on the lake surface. Okay, so all the ones that I'm doing tonight are in a this one's a size 10. I know we quoted size 12 on the description, but size
huge.
We stepped it up. Yeah, 10 is the largest size that I do, and then we go right down to like size 22 if you really want to. But I usually stay 10, 12, and 14 are my mainstays.
Well, hey, Scotty, you know how it is. Fish out here up in British Columbia, they only feed off of like
They want the monsters.
That's right.
Well, even if there's a small hatch going on, you want yours to be maybe a little bit bigger than the rest of them. Attention.
Yeah, they're not ordering off the kids menu.
No. So we got our size 10 here, curved caddis. That's the most important part. And then I got my 7/64 bead. And it is a black cyclops eye.
We can give Jeff a shout out too. Right? Jeff Gerhardt, this flies for you, brother.
Yeah, he is the one that was in quizzing us. So I told him I'd be back this week with a bunch of patterns.
You know what? Question and answer is officially open. So if you have any questions, hit us up.
There you
go. I'd love to hear from you.
So I got my 8/0 thread here. With these smaller patterns, I like using the 8/0. It doesn't bulk it up as much. And I'm using my tag here. It is really important with these flies to get a nice smooth base going on. So I use my tag end to help stack my thread as I'm wrapping. So I'm pulling it up against my thread as I'm going, and it just keeps your thread wraps all nice and together.
Stacked.
All right, so I'm gonna wrap that right down to around the hook bend. Next, what I'm going to be doing is we are going to put in the wire ribbing. So I'm going to bring my thread all the way back up to the head. I got my small red ultra wire here. So I'm going to get myself a piece off. And I'm going to tie this in right along the back of the fly. So just stick that tip in right underneath the bead. I'm going to position it right on top of this fly as I go down. Following the contour of the hook. All right, and then before I move on, I just, with my fingernail, position that wire right along the backbone of that hook. So it's right along the back there. And then once again, I'm going to move my thread all the way back up to the head. So why I'm doing this is it's keeping a uniform body. So I'm not tying in everything on the end here and have a bigger tail section than I do the midsection. By continually going up and wrapping all these materials in right behind the bead, I'm keeping a consistent thickness throughout the hook. So I got my blue flashabou. So this is blue holographic flashabou. And what I'm going to do is nip off 2 strands of it. That's all you need is 2 strands. 1, 2. And we're going to take those 2 strands and just get it up underneath that thread and position it on the top of the fly. I'm going to pull them so that the tips are even. And then again, I'm going to wrap this right down the back of the hook, all the way into the back of the tail. All right, so we're in there. Now I'm going to work on moving my thread up to the top. Now I'm going to build a bit of a thicker section behind this bead here. I'm going to build in my taper with my thread. So it is an 8/0 thread, so it's going to take a little bit here, so bear with me. And build that right up to the back of the bead. I like tilting my vise on the side when I'm doing it so I don't have to sit there and crouch over. I can see my side profile. And you're not building a huge taper in there. It's just a bit of a difference. All right, so I got a bit of a taper going on here. Most of my taper is up in the front half of the fly. There's none in the back there. If you ever see one of these naturally, they got very sleek back half to them. All right, I'm just going to grab my flashabou out from behind my wire here. So we're going to grab all our flashabou. And we are going to do our body wrap with the flash. So the first part is the hardest one, is to get those, all 4 of those strands to stay together. There we go.
Yeah, it's got a good shimmer.
My hook is moving in my vise because I was tying a bigger fly earlier and I didn't reset it. I'm just going to fix that right now. There we go. All right, squeeze my fingers here.
I guess you don't use a hackle plier because you don't want it twisting.
Yeah. All right, so we got that tied up to almost behind the bead. We're going to tie that off. Next is we're going to take this wire and wrap it up. So nice evenly spaced wraps. I'm going to do about 6 of them. 3, 4, maybe 7 or 8, depends. 5, 6. And there we go. Nicely done. And again, we're going to tie that off and get rid of the tag end. And now we're going to put in some ostrich. So this is a great way to use up all the smaller stuff that's at the base of the feather that you don't often use. And I just need 1 strand of it. Right there, that's good enough for me. Doesn't really matter if you're tied in by the tip or the tag. It's going to do the same thing. All right, so we're going to do a couple wraps back here. Build up a bit of a gill plate.
That's awesome. All our flies are tied live too. This is live action. I know there's a lot of guys out there like David McPhail and all them. They can go back and fix a fly.
They do it a few times over.
This is on the spot.
Oh yeah. All right. What did I just throw everywhere? Oops, something. I don't know. My fly. I threw the sample fly somewhere. Oh. And then to finish this fly off, all we're doing is I'm grabbing my dark green ice dubbing. Thank you, Brad. And I'm doing the smallest little amount here. I'm just going to do a little collar between the bead and that ostrich.
And you don't need a ton of it either, do you?
Nope. So I'm just making sure I'm going to just trap that ostrich with my fingers here. I'm just going to pull it down tight a little. All right. And then we're going to whip finish. Right behind the bead.
Ooh, perfect time for the break.
Yeah, I'm just going to put a quick little knot in there just in case. Friday 13th. Hey, hey, hey.
The jick, just in case.
All right, so at least we got one whip finish in there. And that's it, man. If your dubbing's a little tight, then you can just use your little dubbing pick right here and just pick out a little bit. But you can see mine's nice and loose, has a little bit of fray. You don't want a lot. These are small flies and they don't have big long legs or anything. Go dangle this thing underneath an indicator on the still water and hammer them. If you've never fished with this type of fly, it is exhilarating when you actually get a fish, because you typically get big fish with these small,
tiny little
yeah, patterns, and you're like, how on earth does that fish pick that out? And yeah, it's quite exciting. I like it.
Okay, we'll go up to the top here. That's a beautiful tie. Here, roll it over space. Yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. There, you can really see the blue in that thing. I mean, just the way the light is hitting it, it really, it almost makes it look silver, but you can see it good there. Anyhow, we'll go up top here, Scotty, and we'll sign out. There's no point in us keeping people here. We got more flies to tie.
Definitely, yeah. So I'm Boulder. Thanks for watching Friday Night Flies. Get out there on the still water and hook some fish with some crommies. And I'm gonna be right back. I got, like I said at the beginning, I got 5 that I'm gonna tie up tonight. So we're gonna just bang, 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 hammer them out.
Keep them going.
Come back in about 5 minutes. We'll have another episode.